really a whole, it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? I'm cussing and everything, talking about people, everything. So it's like, what's really going on? Like, what the fuck is really going on? Like, and then, well, now what, you know what I'm saying? But even though I don't want to drive there, I'm cool. I don't want to drive there. They could have even tried to give me another position somewhere else. Like, like, here, this closer to your house, like, then go there. But it was almost like, and then I guess people assumed that it was about them. Like, it was like whatever they saw, they thought it was them. It's like, but this isn't you. Like, none of this stuff is you. And I don't know if people added to it or what happened. I don't know any of the behind the scenes of what's happening. But in the end, I don't trust people. In the end, I lost the person. I don't think I ever had the person. I think that the person felt like, well, we weren't friends in the first place, so let's trick her. Like, well, let me let her think that she's my friend, and then whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like some little middle school type shit. And then it's like, okay, well, now let's put the kids in there, the kids that she don't like. Let's put all 8 personalities. Let's put the sociopaths in there. So it's just like, that's how it's just like, man, I don't know. I still don't know what's going on. And then they kept saying, well, isn't this year better? But isn't this year better? And it's like, but what about last year? You never corrected. You never told me what happened to the correction of last year. Well, the principal isn't here anymore. But you still got these people here. You still got the teachers. You still got the teachers that she worked with. So I don't know. And I still don't know them. So it's like, I don't give a fuck who was here or who wasn't here. The actual thing is that the principal, it wasn't the principal because she didn't bother me. Even though she was doing some shiesty shit, I don't know what the fuck she was doing. But it wasn't, did it have anything to do with me? If it did, then guess what? I never knew. It felt like it was like, okay, why is this person only communicating with me when certain people come to the building? Like, why is she coming around here like something is really going on? And that was the whole thing. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is going on? And then everybody else getting prizes and shit. I can't win nothing. It's like, oh fuck, like you can't have nothing but this box of whatever this is. I'm just like, I don't know. I have no clue of what's going on. So it's like, okay, well, we gonna forever just keep you out of everything. Like you can do all the work to get us what we need, and then we'll just keep you out. And that you can't keep doing that forever. Like, I have to be able to live my fucking life. Like, I need to be able to live my life too. And if the work I'm doing is getting me something for me and my child, then it needs to be given to me and my child. And that's what I feel like. Okay, maybe they get some shit, and it's like they gonna leave me and my kid out. And it's like, but me and my kid want to go on trips, and me and my kid want to have new things too. Like, me and my kid want all these things for ourselves too. And that should be up to me to say, okay, well, you can have this or you can't have it or anything like that. And it's like, okay, but who is doing this and why are you doing it? And so that's when I started thinking, well, maybe it's a bad ex. Maybe it's somebody that really don't care about you. There's somebody that just don't give a fuck about you. And so that's everything I've been coming to. It's like, okay, and now let's take the show, download the show, and let's use it in her voice for everything we need it to be, instead of just like letting her live her life and have her own shit. So I'm just like, man, I just don't know. It's still a situation where I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm not getting anything out of anything. And I don't know. And it's like, okay, well, your life is over because we feel like this about you. We feel like, this, that, and the other. And it's like, but you never got to know me. You never got to, you don't know me enough to tell me what kind of relationships I should have with people and if I should have those relationships and all those different things like that, especially if I'm not the person that's that petty. Like, I'm not the person to be like, okay, well, I'm not that person to say, well, let me take something. What I'm saying is like, I'm not that person to be like, okay, I'm not that petty person. I'm the person that's like your friend. Like, I was your friend. I would have been your friend. I wouldn't have been like, I remember also somebody was like, you talking about me. Like, I don't have time for that. Like, I kind of don't. Unless you were my actual friend. Outside of you, I don't have time to talk about you. I don't. I got time to call you bitches and shit. Because that's what I'm going to do. I mean, by the end, it's like, you just a bitch. I like, fuck you. But it's like, but at the end of the day, to be like just sitting around just like talking about you and everything I know about you. And like, I don't got time for that. I don't got time for that. Like, people go through shit, man, and shit is real. I don't give a fuck who you are. You know, if somebody can't pay their bills and they been paying them their whole life, like, you know, like that shit, that's gonna bother a motherfucker. Like you know, I don't care if it's your enemy. You know what I'm saying? Like, some shit just bother people. People lose their cars. That shit bother them. You know, people don't have clothes and food and stuff like that. That stuff bother them. You know, you want to go out one day and get a new dress, but you got to pay the electric bill. And if you don't have that extra $20, you know, you can't, the bill can't be paid. That's the shit I've been going through. I've been going through it, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, you know, how you going to get out of it? I don't know. I don't know how the fuck I get out of it. You know, how do I get out of it? And the thing, but it doesn't, I don't think it bothers me to the point where it bothers other people, you know. So then somebody would come and be like, okay, well, let's remind her that she can't pay her bills. Let's remind her that she that her rent is due. Let's remind her that, you know, she can't do this. Let's remind her. And it's like everything. Let's remind her that she can't have this. Let's remind her that she can't have that. Let's remind her. You know, and I went through that with middle school students where they just they wanted the shoes and the clothes and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm glad that in my life, my grandmother would have to buy all that stuff for me. My dad too, he would buy it. But I don't remember name brands, you know. So they would buy all this stuff. And my grandmother would want me to pay her back. I don't want to pay you back. You know, like, I'm just like, well, I don't want it. I don't need it. So that, in that sense, I just started being my own person and just like deciding what was right for me and what wasn't right for me. And for the main part, is like I would go to thrift stop. I would go to the thrift stores. Not to say I went to the Goodwill, because Goodwill is not everything at the Goodwill. It's like I went to thrift stores, like places that would have mohair sweaters and, you know, like real 70s jeans and like, you know, shoes and stuff. And I would actually just like trade my clothes for more clothes, for different clothes. So it wasn't the fact that it was cheap. It was the fact that it was like just a different style that fit my body, because I was a curvaceous girl. And so when I was coming up, it was like those hot, like low waist jeans. Having curves, you can't wear no damn low waist jeans. Like, that shit look crazy on you. So you have to actually, like, you know, build in your shape when you had that. So everything would come in a low waist. I don't look right in it. I mean, so I had to wear tights and different stuff like that. So it was like I just couldn't dress like everybody else, and I had to find it out and then use it to the best of my ability. So you know, so it's almost like, yeah, some people, they see all this stuff, they see it, and it's like, well, this is who she is, this is this person, you know. And that's what I'm thinking, like, they looking like it's like a resume or something, like, let's look at this is her, this is who she is. And it's like, but that's not, you haven't asked me why that's on. You haven't given me any clue to what's on her. You know, like, I don't know what the fuck is on there. Like, I feel like you know me, but I don't think you really know me. So it's almost like, okay, it's not, like, that's not what it is. Like, that's what you're trying to present for me is not what it is. That's not who the fuck I am, bitch. You know, like, you know, again, I don't know you and you don't know me. So you gonna give my story what you think it is. You know, I had some guy tell me, oh yeah, and have you been to the Goodwill? It's like, but I'm really not a Goodwill shopper. I'm sorry. Like, you know, it's cool to be at the Goodwill, but I'm just not that person that want to be there all the time. The smell, you know, old books. It smell like old books. You know, I can't do that all the time. I like to see, but no, it's not something that I just really, really, really want for myself, you know. So I don't know. Again, it's I don't know. I still don't know what's going on. But yesterday, I just realized, yeah, you had friends and your friends are gone. And now you have nobody. And that's the whole thing. Like, you just have nobody. And I'm pretty sure somebody out there trying to remind you of that too. And somebody wants you in your feelings about it or whatever. And it's like, wait a minute, should I be in my feelings or should I not? Because since I don't know what's going on, it's easier for me to just be like, okay, this is what it is. It is what it is. It's where it's at. And man, I wish it was different. I wish that if it would have happened the way it should have happened, my mother should have been praised for being an excellent mom, and my friends should have been praised for being excellent people and creators, and I should have been praised and we could have all worked together and kumbaya and shit, and you know, a dance party and all this, you know, like, it's like, man, I wish it really would have worked out. I do. And I, you know, and the stories will be there, and maybe I would be writing by now, you know, not teaching, just writing on a show or something like that, or have my own show or something, you know. But nope, let's try to break her. We're gonna break her, you know. We're not gonna try to help her get out the abusive situation. We just gonna break her, and then we gonna write about it. We're gonna break her, and then we're gonna write about it, and then we're gonna tell all these men her information, and we gonna get them to trick her into letting her, you know, be nice to him, and then boom, he'll rape you at Shantae, and then we'll go and write about that too, because now you've been through a whole lot of trauma, and now it's time for us to celebrate it through scripts on TV, and we're going to share that too with the world, how you reacted to the whole rape and traumatic situations that you've been through. It's like, well, as I told my friend before, it really wasn't your business. You know, he tried to tell me that he was molested. I was like, well, okay. And when I finally came out and told him I was, you know, it was like, why didn't you tell me? Well, you shouldn't have. It's not your business. It wasn't anybody's business. I just kind of covered the story up and just went on my life, you know. And I'm just like, well, it really wasn't anybody's business. Not to say that it, you know, it just was never anybody's business. It was a story that was on my page where this woman, she wrote about her dad, her stepfather, sleeping with her until she was like 24 years old. And I just kept it on the page. I didn't read the story. I just put it up there. And so when I was going through everything, that shit scared me. I was like, oh, fuck, you know. That's when I thought about the man and how he was at the pool and stuff like that, you know. So just for him to be like, you know, I was molested and you should have told me because we best friends. Your best friend don't have to know every detail about your life. You know, I feel like best friends, yes, you're my best friend, but if I didn't want to tell you, you should respect that. Maybe it's not time for me to tell you. Maybe it wasn't time for me to talk to you about any of this stuff. And so, and maybe it was time for you to be a friend. Because also when I went through with everything, when I was going through agoraphobia, all this stuff, when I had the open wound, I just told everybody, hey, I just want to be left alone. I don't want anybody to see me like this. I don't want you to see me like this. This is a way that I don't want you to see me. And he got mad too. He was mad about that. It's like, well, but it's like he wasn't even trying to see me. You know what I'm saying? He just wanted that. He just wanted those. And then he said, well, you don't care about nobody but yourself. It's like, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm just telling you that at this point in my life, I cannot handle the company because I have to deal with these feelings and this pain and all this stuff I'm going through. I'm just trying to tell you that. And I told him that. I explained that to him. Like, I don't even want to talk to you right now because I was so depressed, you know. And you know, and nobody showed up. Nobody showed up. You know, nobody just knocked on the door. So when I watched I watched Grey's Anatomy. This is what was coming up though. But it's like I watched the Grey's Anatomy episode where all this stuff was happening, and she had somebody come and show up at her door. Somebody showed up at her door and brought her soup. I didn't even have that. I still had people plotting against me, saying I was talking about their business. The little girl at the school, I gotta spend time with her and to spend time with the kids. Like, all this stuff going on, and I'm trying to heal. I'm at home crying my eyes out, going through so much shit, like going through all this shit, and I got all these people around me, the surrounding of me, just thinking about all this shit they about to do to me, and what it is that I didn't do for them, and how I had to be there for them, and this, that, and the other, and it's like, but I'm the one that went through the most, like, I just went through the most shit. Like, and it's like, man, just to have somebody to be like, okay, I understand. Instead of, well, I want your time. That little girl wanted my time, so she had to go and tell people that I talked about her behind her back. She set it up so people could say, then my friend, he just like, well, you don't want to be around me. Then the teacher come and you talked about me behind my back. You said this about me. And it's like, no, but that's what you said, you know. So it's like all this little shit I'm going through. But I'm at home basically suffering. I'm at home with nobody. Nobody, nothing, nobody talked to. Stuff in my wound, all this different stuff. And then at the end, it's like, well, Shantae, you selfish because you only thought about yourself. And I was going through stuff too.